Siemka, z tej strony Prosout, a to jest kolejny odcinek z Vampyr. Jak sami pamiętacie, robiliśmy sobie troszeczkę fabuły i wysyłają nas do doków ponownie, tam gdzie w sumie zaczynaliśmy. Lecz mamy tutaj dialog z Lady Ashbury, więc sobie go zrobimy, zanim tam pójdziemy do doków. By the way, nie sprawdzałem innych dzielnic, jeśli chodzi o stan zdrowia, ale widzę, że Mason w ogóle jest nietknięty, dalej ma tą migrenę, więc niech ma tą migrenę, żeby mu się tylko nie pogorszyło. Dyson Delaney. No dobra. Ashbury, gdzie ona jest? Tam? Czy on zmienia pozycję?
Oh, Jonathan, I cannot believe my eyes. Poor woman, butchered by some savage scowl.
Wszystko musi umrzeć, tak? To ma sens. Zjemy razem? Tak. Ktoś umarł? Zjemy razem? Pewnie.
Yes, and I'm afraid I'm at least partially responsible. The man, the scowl, I brought him here.
Jonathan, how could you say such a thing?
Forgive me if I feel despondent, for there seems to be no end to the suffering and death that surrounds us.
I'm always here for you, Jonathan.
Have you embraced this woman, like the other patient, this Mr. Renfield?
Her name was Amelia. And no, I did not kill her. I vowed a very long time ago that I would never take another life, unless they ask.
Is there sufficient vitality in the blood of the sick and dying patients?
Yes, Jonathan. The hunger gnaws at me every waking hour. Frankly, I'm starving.
Temptation surrounds us. Rich, vital. How can you resist?
Over the years, any pleasure I once gleaned from feeding is long gone. I drink for sustenance. And though I still thirst for more, I restrain myself.
Okay.
What do you know of Ascalon? I was threatened by a creature, a vampire in Whitechapel, stating I had to obey the law of conduct.
What more can you tell me about him?
He was bigger than a man. Huge, in fact. He seemed to radiate violence. I thought he was going to tear me apart. Then he vanished.
Fergal, the executioner of Ascalon. You were fortunate he was not after you, but rather out doing his master's bidding.
What is Ascalon?
The Ascalon Club are the most powerful vampires in Britain and exert tremendous influence. Take my advice and stay well away.
Okay.
I have experienced a certain difficulty when faced with holy symbols or trying to enter religious buildings. Have you?
Now that's quite a question. I don't know why, but yes, it has happened to me.
Is this a sign? A hand of God in action? Are we repellent unto heaven?
I don't have the answers, Jonathan. But I believe superstition and magic is just fact awaiting the lens of science.
Dobra, jestem z powrotem. Niespodziewany gość. Możecie się domyślać. Ale teraz to już chyba nic mi nie przerwie do jakiegoś tam czasu, nie?
It seems the Frewen are redoubling their patrols in the district. I must be more careful.
Fear no evil! We do the Lord's work here! Leech spotted!
Kurwa, ileś tu
Watch out,
jest?
boys! Burn it, boys!
Ja pierdzielę, walcie się wszyscy.
It ain't you
Kalowie, jeba ci. O, ktoś jest w opałach.
Get away from me, you bastard! Come on, and I will show you how a werewolf does business. Get the fuck out, you crazy bastard!
No, nie no, kurwa, doskok na pół kilometra. Kurwa, podoba mi się to bardzo, nie? Nie no, to jest żart aktualnie. I ile ich tu jest? Bez przesady. Dobra. O, okej. To było... O matko.
Are you all right, sir? What are you doing in a place like this?
I'm not sure that's any of your business.
I hope you realize that staying here will put your life at great risk.
Pah! I'm not afraid of these guards of Priwen, or whatever these thugs call themselves. I can still kick some respect into those youngsters.
I wasn't specifically referring to them, but are you really after these men? Why?
They took my boy! I've had no news since he joined that crazy gang. So I decided to come and find him myself, to get some answers.
I see. But as I said, your
Woodbead'a.
life is at risk if you stay here.
Archer nie miał wieści od syna, odkąd ten dołączył do stróżów Priwen. Ten jest zdrowy.
And I'm not referring to the gangs either. You should leave, sir.
Well, this part of town used to be nicer, let's say. Perhaps you're right. This isn't the best way to save Andrew.
No tutaj jak zawsze, jeśli kogoś uratuje, to nie można tutaj jakichś tematów poruszyć. Szylingi, 15 aż. Znowu szylingi. Jakieś ciało. Zakrwawiony list. Najmilsza matko, bez względu na to, co mi się przydarzy, zawsze pamiętaj, że twój syn szczerze cię kocha. Wiem, czasami nie pochwalała ścieżki, którą w życiu obrałem, ale już cię nie zmienię. Urodziłem się i wychowałem w tej części miasta i nie mogę znieść tego, co się dzieje z nią oraz ludźmi, których znamy. Podjąłem ostatnio straszliwą decyzję. Postanowiłem stawić opór tyranii nielicznych. Wiem, że przyjdzie mi za to zapłacić, ale jestem gotów na wszystko, co przyniesie los. Tobie zawdzięczam miłość do literatury. Zanim przystąpię do działania, pozostaje mi zacytować Etienne'a Boletier. Wydają się tacy wysocy tylko dlatego, że my klęczymy. Nie będę więcej klęczał, matko. Zamierzam stać prosto, niezależnie od konsekwencji. Żegnaj, najdroższa mateczko.
There is a name engraved under the blood.
Enid Gillingham.
On the back of the case. Jack Gillingham. Maybe I should return this watch to his family.
Jak ją znajdziesz, to powodzenie. Flakonik perfum i butelka alkoholu. Kodeina, szylingi. O, tu coś jeszcze było. Srebrne lustro i jakaś papierośnica. To też może być ciekawe. Czy to są... Nie no, fuck. Właśnie. Jakieś dobroci powinny z nich wypaść, nie? W ogóle dobrze mi poszło w tej walce. Nie to co w tamtym odcinku, co była. To była tragedia. Kurwa, to co chwila muszę coś zbierać. Niezwiedzone obszary. Zablokowano drzwi. Dog Limehouse. Czy ja z tobą gadałem?
Good
Chyba
evening,
nie.
sir.
Who the fuck are you? Don't you see I'm busy here?
Dr. Jonathan Reed, that's who I am. And who are you?
Ah, some fancy gentleman we've got here. Clear off. We don't want strangers on our streets.
So you won't tell me your name, then?
The name is Booth Digby. Maybe I'll ask my boys to break one or two of your bones, just so you remember it.
Are you some kind of vigilante patrolling these streets at night?
Something like that, but the police aren't in charge here. We are, see?
So you're a concerned criminal, is that it?
Using funny jokes about me and my boys, are you? Fuck. You must have some balls.
I saw many men like you during the war, Mr. Digby. Greedy little cockroaches who feed on despair.
I could kill you for saying that. But, nah. You've been a soldier. I can respect that.
So, tell me about your gang, then.
What? Have you got a death wish? You really want me to answer that?
Well, yes. You seem so proud of your status. Why not tell me who you're working for?
Oi! I'm the boss, all right? The Wet Boot Boys work for me. All of them. Situation round here is better than other districts because of us. Because of me.
Czyli on jest, można powiedzieć, szefem dla tych
What can you
kaloszy
tell me
jebanych.
about this part of town?
Things ain't that bad, thanks to us. We give people what they need, and we control this borough.
Well, you're not doing a very good job. People are still dying here like everywhere else.
Yeah, well, we can't be everywhere all the time. And Edwina says if we can find more guns, we could be more efficient.
More efficient? Really? You should probably tell Edwina that guns are useless against diseases and infections.
Incredible. You know what? You're lucky she can't hear you right now. She's more smart than patient. My sweet queen of the docks.
Queen of the Docks. Bow może i kocha Edwinę Cox, ale to ona jest prawdziwą przywódczynią szajki. Edwina Cox. No. Ci kurwa dobrali. Any Gleaningham. Nieznany. Ale no coś chory jest. To samo. Nie mam wskazówek, więc...
Do you know where I can find Sean Hampton? I need to talk to him.
The sad saint. Why on earth do you want to talk to him?
He was one of my patients at the Pembroke Hospital.
Oh, yeah. I heard the poor bastard had been abducted by some cunt. You better ask Tom Watts. He knows Sean Hampton well.
Tom Watts.
Goodbye.
Siema, Edwina.
Good evening, miss. I am Dr. Reed. May I ask you a few questions?
Who are you? What do you want?
As I just told you, I'm a doctor. From the Pembroke Hospital, actually.
The Pembroke Hospital, you say? I ain't paying any bill left by Clay.
I'm not here to collect payment, miss.
Miss Edwina Cox.
No właśnie.
So what do you want then? Fancy buying
Rodzinka.
something from me, maybe?
Rodzinka Kleja.
What can you tell me about your work?
I'm a businesswoman. I buy and sell things, and I send my wet boot boys after anyone who don't play nice with me.
Gang member and shopkeeper. Can't be easy running double shifts.
If you're interested, I may find use of a doctor who can freely walk across the city, you know.
You're quite blunt, aren't you?
I like people who know what they want and say what they think. This is a time of great opportunity for those ready to embrace their destiny.
I'm not interested in a career in the criminal underworld, Miss Cox.
Fair enough. Stay away from us then, if you don't want to get hurt or worse.
Since my return from the war, I don't feel that concerned by threats, knives, or even bullets, if you must know.
That's exactly what that stupid trade unionist claimed after he attacked one of us. Booth and I reminded him a bullet beats words every time.
Buff Digby. Buffy i Edwina niedawno kogoś zabili w akcie zemsty. No i one tak są. Kochajcie się od razu.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
You can't trust anyone around here. As soon as you lower your guard, you can be sure some arsehole will take advantage of you.
Really? Don't you think that's a little bit excessive?
Bastards, all of them. This region only responds to violence and threats.
You sound like you're thinking of somebody in particular.
Take the gravediggers of Southwark. They must pay me every week, but it looks like they forgot who gave them permission to steal from the dead.
Looting corpses in a mass grave. That is a new low.
Whatever. Hey, since you're a doctor and all, maybe you can access that forbidden area and remind those bastards what they owe.
Gule cmentarne.
You still use your husband's name, Edwina. Why is that?
Why shouldn't I? He may be a bloody bastard, but I'm still his wife and his name means something round here.
You never paid him a visit at the Pembroke Hospital, did you?
And I don't intend to. In Clay's case, I'm not against a medical mistake or a little help from the Spanish flu.
Aż tak mu źle życzę?
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
The sad saint? I heard he was mugged or something.
Yes, he was. But he left hospital recently.
You don't say. Well, I suppose it's good news for the homeless and the useless. Ask them, they must know something.
Booth Digby looks at you with love-struck eyes. Tell me, Edwina, is the feeling mutual?
You have no idea how refreshing it can be for a woman to receive all the pleasure she needs. For once.
I'll take your word for it.
What is it, Doctor? A woman's not supposed to talk about these things.
I believe you manipulated Booth Digby to get everything you wanted from him, both inside and outside the bedroom.
The poor bastard is good to me, if you must know. He makes me feel good. And that's a first.
So you're just like any other couple, after all, are you not?
Yeah, we're so ordinary that I'd put a bullet in his head if he ever cheated on me.
Edwina podejrzewała, że Buff Digby ją zdradza.
Tell me about the man you and Booth killed, Edwina.
The bastard killed one of us and received retribution. There's nothing else to say.
What happened exactly?
I don't know and I don't care. One of ours was killed by that communist bastard, but he didn't brag for long.
So you have no idea what really happened, but you executed him anyway.
No one messes with the wet boot boys, Doctor. This is our territory and this is our law.
And your conscience is clear. You kill without hesitation.
Violence is an efficient tool, Dr. Reed, when used properly.
So you decide who lives and who dies, just like that.
Yes, Doctor. Just like that. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm saying it's my way of dealing with troublemakers.
Okej.
Can I see what you have?
As long as...
Co ty tu masz? Kupmy ze 3 loftki. Ja te śmieci mogę przerobić, więc ja chyba nie będę ich sprzedawał. Jezu, 65 pedeków za rozmowę z nią. O Boże, Sabrina Cavendish.
These murders are the work of a vampire.
Not a drop of blood left in his body. This is the work of a vampire.
I'm a tracker of these
Czy
creatures.
ja z tą Sabriną to ja gadałem? Tak, to jest ta kelnerka z tego baru.
A vampire hunter.
You best be off to your hunting then. For if the sewer dog is back and hunting all these poor folk, he needs a catching.
A sewer dog. What's it look like?
It's an old story. A monster with daggers for teeth and eyes that-
as likely to cause.
Tom Watts jest. Chwila, ja chciałem sobie, nie wiem, jakąś kryjówkę znaleźć czy coś.
Your sewer dog is my business. He's the kind of prey I hunt, milady.
Dobra, zrobię kurację na ten. Nie ból głowy, zmęczenie. Przerobię sobie też to wszystko. 162 winiano żelaza, ja pierdzielę. Nie wiem, gdzie ja mogę znaleźć fragment porządnego uchwytu, ale bym chętnie sobie to kupił, bo nie powiem, że nie. I tutaj 6 porządnych uchwytów, co też bym sobie ogarnął. Ale to zwiększy obrażenia i to znacząco. Tutaj to tylko o 6, a tutaj już ile łącznie? 4, 39. I z 39 61. Ja pierdzielę. Nice. Spełniłem wszystko. Fajnie, że znowu do shotguna mam już pełne naboje. Jednak ja sobie zmienię je na pistolca. I strzelbę będę sobie zostawiał na jakichś bossów czy coś takiego. Albo nawet na takich większych przeciwników. Dobra, pogadajmy z tym typem. Albo znajdźmy najpierw tego. Jakoś babuszka. Z Dysonem chciałem pogadać. O właśnie. Turkusowy żółw.
Good evening.
What else?
Don't you reckon?
Don't take it personally. I spent a lot of energy forgetting what I did the night before.
Yes, you had definitely drunk too much then as well. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I'm Dyson Delaney. I'll try to remember you. This time.
Z nim nie gadałem?
Surely you must have had dreams and expectations when you were young, like everybody else.
Sure. I wanted things to change. To really change. And to change for good. The bigger the dream, the harder the fall.
Sounds like you were an idealist, which is honorable.
No, sir. I was an anarchist and I believed that exclusive property is a robbery in nature. I wanted a new world to rise from the ashes, Dr. Reed.
Dyson był niegdyś zdeklarowanym radykalnym anarchistą.
Do you really think the world is that bad?
No, I believe we all can choose to make it better. But most of us are too weak, too corrupt and too guilty. I failed for sure, but others will come.
I want to know more about your past as an anarchist, Dyson.
I'm still an anarchist, Doctor, make no mistake. I just reject violence as a tool to change the world, unlike my comrades.
Do you still see your comrades, then? Even if you don't agree with their methods anymore, I mean.
No. I
Ahoj,
hope they'll come to share my
kamracie.
point of view one day. I'll raise my glass to that splendid idea.
Do you believe in a bloodless revolution, then?
I do not believe in much anymore, Doctor. But I'll admit I like your idea of peaceful change. I like it a lot.
Is there anything in particular that you like about this part of town? Except for the cheap drinks, I mean.
How dare you say such a thing? I love this neighborhood. So friendly, so joyful.
No reason at all to rejoice, then? Life is hopeless and then we die, is that it?
Let me tell you a story.
All right. Go on.
Dobra,
A few
słucham.
years ago, when I believed a resolute man could change things around here for good, a tragedy occurred nearby.
What kind of tragedy?
It was a bomb. Bomb that exploded and killed many people. Metal and blood everywhere. Shouts, fire, broken window of the shoe shop, the torn streetlight.
You lost people you loved that day, didn't you?
I've lost everything. But you know what the worst part is? I don't even remember where it happened. I've drunk so much to forget it, and now I can't remember where it was. I can't pay my homage to the dead.
I'm sorry, Mr. Delaney.
It's okay. If you ever find the place, just leave a flower for me there. Even if you tell me where it is. I'm not sure I'd memorize it.
Hołd dla ofiar, nowe śledztwo.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Delaney?
I drink. I drink in the morning and at noon. I drink at night. And then I drink some more.
No i się potem skarży na zmęczenie.
Why do you drink so much?
Maybe it's because I prefer dying slowly. Death can be so abrupt. Personally, I like to see mine coming at my own pace.
You sound very sad, sir.
That's because I am Doc.
Don't you work at all?
I'd love to, but I don't have the time. Didn't I tell you? Drink in the morning and at noon. I drink at night.
Is there anything in particular that
Powiem
you
wam,
like
że
about
właśnie
this
jak
part
się
of
chce
town?
się zrobić tą grę na
Except for the
100%,
cheap drinks, I mean.
to
How dare you
te
say such a
dialogi
thing?
niektóre są
I
takie
love this
nudne.
neighborhood. So friendly, so joyful.
Nawet nie są ciekawe. Naprawdę. Nie jest
No
nawet nic
reason at
takiego,
all
gdzie ja
to
bym się mógł
rejoice,
zaciekawić.
Life is hopeless and then we die, is that it?
Let me tell you a story.
Another time.
Ja już to słyszałem, kolego.
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
I really don't know. I heard he'd been abducted. I don't know if he's back.
Who could tell me then?
About the sad saint. I try asking Tom what's about him.
Dobra,
Inebriation.
Yes.
dam ci jeszcze
Take
lekarstwo.
Hey, Doc.
Goodbye, Mr. Delaney.
Mogę go w ogóle hipnotyzować.
He didn't deserve this.
But with the epidemic, no one dares go outside.
Dobra, pogadam jeszcze z Tomem Wattsem, znowu z tą Sabriną, ale jeszcze pogadam z tym typem, bo
Good
wyczuwam
evening,
jakieś...
Have you witnessed any
Peekabody.
suspicious activity or strange events recently?
And what do you
Śmiedzi mi tu
define
kolejnym
as a strange
poboczniakiem.
event? More to the point, who are you?
My name is Ichabod Throgmorton, vampire
Throgmorton.
hunter extraordinaire and warden of the East End.
A vampire hunter? Really?
I know what you're thinking. I'm just another lunatic howling at the moon, but I'm not. The bloodsuckers exist, and they're close.
Oj,
Mr.
bardzo
Throgmorton,
blisko, kolego.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'd like to hear more about these vampires you're hunting.
A man of science? Well, I'll be glad to enlighten you.
What can you tell me about this neighborhood?
Did you hear about what happened to Jack Gillingham? Poor boy. It's a shame I wasn't around to protect him.
It's impossible to protect everyone. The violence seems endemic.
Ja mam
in this
chyba
part
jego
of town.
list.
But it's my duty. I am
Chwila. Cicho tam. By the way, mogę to zmienić na coś? Mogę na coś innego zmienić, omega. Ale nie, nie ma nic ciekawego. Szkoda, że nie mogę więcej tych ostateczności. No to naprawdę coś fajnego jest.
Convinced Jack Gillingham was killed by a vampire. These evil rodents are spreading like a plague.
Ichabod Frogmorton. Ichabod wierzy, że Jack Gillingham został zabity przez wampira. Enid Gillingham.
So, how exactly are you protecting these people? I'm curious.
I patrol late at night, investigating anything unusual. I try and encourage people to stay indoors, but people are careless.
Can I help in any way?
Actually, yes. I plan to put up posters to alert the population to the vampire threat.
Are you asking me to paste posters about vampires around the docks?
If you wouldn't mind. If you did that, then I can focus on my patrols.
Nowe śledztwo.
How do you identify a vampire?
It's simple, really. They can't stand daylight. They're afraid of garlic and holy symbols. They also cannot enter a house without being invited.
Have you ever killed one of these creatures? Yourself, I mean.
Of course I have. What kind of question is that? It's a dirty business, believe me.
Have you heard of the Guard of Priwen?
Of course. They're dedicated hunters. A little militant for my taste, but they do let anyone join.
Were you ever tempted to join the Guard yourself?
I did think about it, but I'm more of a silent hunter. They're more of a sanitary militia.
So you hunt alone? That sounds risky.
Vampires are just like every other predator. They hunt when they're hungry and follow certain patterns. It's just a matter of observation and patience.
Do you need my...
I appreciate...
I'm looking for Sean Hampton. Can you help me, Mr. Throgmorton?
The sad saint? He should be at his night asylum at this hour, but I cannot tell you how to find it, sorry.
Really? Why is that?
It's nothing personal, Doctor. I'm sure your intentions are good, but people who sleep there, they have plenty of reasons to hide.
I could make you tell me, but I respect your refusal. You really believe Sean is a saint, don't you?
All I will say is this. Gossip has it that when he was a child, he was molested. By a priest of all people. Funny thing is, though, it only strengthened his faith.
Jako dziecko Sean był molestowany przez księdza.
Maybe at least you can tell me who could help me find him.
Tell you what, go and chat with Tom Watt.
Dobra.
Goodbye.
Mnie wysyłają do Toma, więc ja od razu do niego pójdę, żeby sobie oszczędzić reszty rozmów.
Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, sir. How are you tonight? Back to the docks, are we?
You remember me then?
Of course I do. You're that man who seemed so lost when he entered my bar a few nights ago.
Thank you for your hospitality. I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way.
I'm still Tom Watts. Welcome back, Doctor.
Tom, I need to find Sean Hampton as quickly as possible. I've been told you could help me.
I heard the sad saint was recovering at Pembroke Hospital. Did he leave or something?
I believe he returned to his flock. Can you confirm that?
Oh, I bet you're right. Sean can't help but worry about the poor and sick. Oh, I guess it has something to do with what happened to him as a baby.
Please, tell me.
Well, I don't like to gossip, but I heard that the sad saint was abandoned as a baby in front of a Catholic orphanage in Dublin. Would explain his faith and need to help everyone.
Inny kraj w ogóle. By the way. No ale... jako dziecko Sean został podrzucony do katolickiego sierocińca. Widzę, że tutaj te wszystkie osoby, które poznałem, to... Tutaj jeszcze nie poznałem. Tam tylko poznałem, kurwa, przy ścianę. Więc no... ale nie będziemy wszystkiego dzisiaj odkrywać na pewno. Bo nie. Po co? Nie no, zaniosę rodzinie, to wiadomo.
The important thing is I find him quickly.
Why not try his night asylum? He takes care of those who need a meal or a roof there.
Where is it?
It's in an old warehouse, northwest of here. Just follow the bank to the west and go north when you reach the end of the pier.
Dobra. Czy mi to pewnie zaznaczy?
What can you tell me about this part of town?
It's not that bad, thanks to people like the sad saint of the East End.
Who?
Sean Hampton, our own private holy figure. Few are foolish enough to make peace with the gangs. Sean is one of them.
How is it you can keep this place open? This part of town doesn't seem particularly safe.
Well, since everybody needs a drink, my pub is considered neutral ground by most groups.
Since I'm here, is there anything I can do?
Serio chcesz się
Perhaps,
tak
Doctor.
rozchodzić?
Peace partly depends on my stock of gin. With the epidemic, my supplies are running low.
How could a physician help you in this matter?
I have a small warehouse just past the quarantine line. Perhaps, with you being a doctor, you could go there and come back.
Doctors aren't
zadanie
immune to
poboczne.
disease,
Tak?
you know. Very well. Show me where it is. I'll see what I can do.
Oh, thank you, sir. Here's the key to get in. You're about to save many dry throats.
Tak. Już do magazynu i nowe śledztwo.
I see. So you get
No,
pressure
Boże,
from all sides
zesram
about
się
how
od tych
this place
śledztw,
should be
nie?
run, do you?
Well, something like that. Nothing that a few wise words and a bottle of gin can't solve.
You're something of a figurehead around here.
I'm only pouring
Figurehead.
alcohol for everyone to forget their troubles. Sean Hampton is the one giving them long-term hope.
Sabrina seems very fond of you, Tom.
I like her too, I really do. I know I'm her boss and I'm much older and all, but I like her for sure.
What is bothering you then?
Sabrina is an angry one. She wears it like a coat. I'm not sure I can make her shed that anger. It hurts to see her like that.
Goodbye, Miss.
Times like these, a good drink's just as likely to cause.
Gdzie ona polazła? No to jest.
Even I'm much.
Welcome back to the Turquoise Turtle then,
Jezu.
Doctor. I'm Sabrina Cavendish. How can I help you?
Ja z sobą gadałem.
Miss Cavendish, would you be willing to help me locate Sean Hampton?
You better ask Tom, sir.
Why not?
We respect the privacy of our customers here, sir.
Dobra.
What can you tell me about this area?
People don't appreciate that line of questioning round here. You best be more careful with what you say, sir.
You look concerned, Miss Cavendish.
This is a bad borough. Most people I know are afraid. Most locals will rob you blind, or worse. You best mind your step.
Sabrina uważa, że w dokach nie jest bezpiecznie.
So you and your friends all feel in danger? No exceptions?
Tom's the only exception I've come across until now. But he's not like everybody else.
This place seems, how shall I put it, very colourful. I'm sure it has plenty of stories to tell.
We get people of all sorts here. It's that rare place in the docks where you can have a drink without being murdered. At least it's not happened yet.
So this bar is neutral territory then?
Yeah. Tom's convinced this is something the locals need. No one ever draws a weapon here. That's one of the reasons I accepted the job.
Your boss must be quite the negotiator to force such an agreement.
Yeah. Tom's a great bloke. Mr. Hampton, who runs the night asylum, he's the only other man that's able to keep peace around here.
Excuse my curiosity, but where exactly are you from, Miss Cavendish?
Something bothering you? What, my name? Or my complexion?
Believe me, I never judge someone on their place of birth or the colour of their skin.
If that's true, you'd be one of the few not to make fun of me. Just you, Tom, Dyson, Miss Fishburne, and of course Mr. Hampton.
I'm sorry if I worried you. I was just curious to find out if you know this part of town well.
Nosy. My dad was a sailor from Bombay, and my mum was a maid born up in Glasgow. They got married in London. And here I am.
Sabrina, tell me about your true feelings for your boss.
I love Tom. Not ashamed of it. Don't care if the customers joke about it neither.
Who's mocking you?
I mean, we're always together. People will talk, won't they?
Does Tom love you?
Yeah, but he's always reluctant to take it further. It's not because I'm younger, or because of the colour of my skin. He hates jokes about us.
Goodbye, Miss Cavendish.
Dobra. 15 pedeków. Nie mam tu żadnego A nie, tu mogę się przecież teleportować. Nie szedłbym jeszcze tropem fabuły, szczerze mówiąc. Kurwa, 5 zadań pobocznych. Dobra, ostatnie co zrobię, to pójdę chyba do tej... do Glinigamów, czy jak tam oni mieli. Ciekawe, czemu dopiero teraz się zaczęli pojawiać tu ludzie. Teraz mi ktoś
Good evening,
otworzy.
madam. I'm Dr. Reed. Could I come in?
Why? What do you want?
I work at the Pembroke Hospital. I'm investigating the flu epidemic in this area.
Oh, the Spanish flu. Well, that's quite liberal of you, Doctor. But this is no time to be knocking at people's doors.
The disease takes away the good people too, madam. Why not let me...
Czy ja mam... Nie, mam drugi poziom hipnotyzmu i to chyba wystarcza. Ciekawe, co w tym West Endzie będzie. Jezu. Przez te dialogi mi się wydaje, że ta gra będzie się jeszcze dłużyć i dłużyć i dłużyć.
It's Mrs. Fishburne. Stella Fishburne. And yes, indeed. Why not let a doctor in?
Dobra, to będzie chyba ostatnia osoba, z którą pogadam.
It's locked.
Ogólnie taka ciekawostka, jak się zabije już kogoś tutaj, to można sobie zabrać sobie rzeczy, te klucze do szafek, które są pozablokowane, ale no wiecie, że ja nie będę tutaj nikogo raczej zabijał, będę tu się starał, żeby każdy przeżył. Jak to na przykład w grach z wyborami czy coś. Dobra, pogadajmy więc.
So you have questions about the flu then?
Yes, among other...
A, i tu jest tych dwóch typków, co pewnie stoi pod jej chałupą.
Things.
Forgive my rudeness at the door. It's just my son doesn't like strangers coming in the house.
How is life around here?
Life has always been hard in the East End. But it's everywhere nowadays, isn't it?
Do you think the increase in violence has anything to do with the epidemic?
Don't know. But it's most likely linked to the gangs, if you ask me. Recently, it's like everyone has had to pick a side.
Violence has always fed on poverty, don't you think? It's a cruel law of the human condition.
And selfishness is their rotten fruit. These days, you can just die in the gutter and no one will bat an eye.
May I ask what you do for a living, Mrs. Fishburne?
Since my husband died, I worked at the Dawson Rope factory, but it closed before the war. I occasionally help at the night asylum, in exchange for food.
Did your husband die in the war?
Oh no, my Jack was a docker. He died when my Seymour was just a lad. The poor boy saw his dad slip and fall from that scaffolding.
How do you pay the rent, then?
My Seymour works at the docks, just like his dad. He's very attached to the house he grew up in. It's not always easy, but we get by all right.
Miła kobitka. Lubię ją.
I'm trying to locate Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know
Przypomina mi
where
moją
he could be?
babcię. Świętej pamięci.
You're talking about the one everyone calls the sad saint. The man who takes care of the homeless.
The very same, Miss Fishburne.
I'm sorry. I don't know where his shelter is. But if you ask around, I'm sure you'll get your answer.
Goodbye, Miss Fishburne.
Miałbym serce, jakbym miał z niej wyssać krew. Gdzie oni poszli? O, mogę iść do tych doków. Szylingi to są. Tak, byłem tu na początku gry. Właśnie na początku nie mogłem skojarzyć miejsca w ogóle. Dobra, by the way. 95 metrów, w zachodnich dokach to jest. No wiecie co, pójdę do kryjówki, ulepszę się. Niby o tą jedną umiejętność, ale się ulepszę. Zawsze wyższy poziom będzie. Szczury! Nie chcę szczurki.
I have this thirst for blood.
Większą absorpcję krwi. Tą autofagię bym sobie ulepszył, ale kurwa, ile tego jest? A to zwiększył tylko o 50 leczenia. Bez sensu. Wściekłość mam odblokowaną. I 150 obrażeń więcej. Zawsze coś. Nie, ja tutaj muszę ten... lokalną wydajność. O Jezu, na to mnie nie stać. Ale bida. Bida jak cholera. Nawet tu. Nawet tu! Czyli co, max teraz za 600 mogę coś ogarnąć. Zadając duże obrażenie. Ale nie. Nie mogę się na nic ulepszyć. Na tą głupią barierę krwi. No niestety. Słuchajcie, to by było na tyle. Mam nadzieję, że odcinek Wam się spodobał. Zapraszam do lajkowania, komentowania oraz subskrybowania. Na razie i cześć, do zobaczenia w następnym odcinku z Vampyr.